She told me the baby was mine, and I believed her for years. Those 6 words uttered softly, but landing like a bomb sent Jim Jones's world spiraling. His eyes went red, his voice cracked, his hands trembled as he stormed out of the studio and straight into a lawyer's office. No warning, no second chance. What began as a reality TV love story had erupted into a DNA disaster. Contracts shattered, group chats exploded, and Mama Jones went so far as to hurl furniture backstage. And Chrissy, she didn't deny a thing when the cameras caught her in leaked court footage. She simply said, "I did what I had to. This isn't your typical reunion special drama. It's a scandal so seismic it split Jim's life in two. It started with a routine hearing, just some old contract disputes with VH1, paperwork and polite silence. But then Jim walked in with a sealed envelope in hand, a look that said, 'I'm done.' Chrissy sat across the table, scrolling through her phone, thinking it was just another Thursday. When she finally looked up and saw that envelope, everything changed. Inside was the result of a private paternity test, no network involvement. No hospital chain of custody, just Jim's lawyer and a clandestine lab report. Mama Jones stormed the courtroom shouting, "I told you all," she was lying, and had to be escorted out by security. What was in that envelope? According to insiders, the test covered not one but two children. The first was the baby Chrissy claimed was Jim's secret miracle. The second, she had told him, died in the womb. But here's the twist. The second child exists live, breathing, documented, and Jim isn't the father of either. For years, Chrissy wove a fairy tale. Secret makeup dates, hushed phone calls, clandestine ultrasounds. It was reality TV gold. Wedding specials, exclusive brand deals, all built on fabrications and alleged bribes to clinic staff. She even allegedly paid a clinic employee to doctor DNA records so that Jim would never suspect a thing. As the internet lit up, fans were split. Some condemned Chrissy as a con artist. Others defended her, saying truth is stranger than fiction. Then a leaked voicemail surfaced Chrissy to her old publicist. "If the second test comes back negative, stall him. Tell him the lab lost it or something. I just need until the reunion airs." That one message exposed a level of premeditation that goes beyond manipulation. This was brand-level sabotage, designed to squeeze every ounce of ratings and revenue from the illusion. But the bombshells kept coming. Jim's legal team dug into her timeline documentation and found disturbing discrepancies. Chrissy allegedly edited birth records and recycled ultrasound footage from years earlier. One close friend of Jim's recalled why he never attended her appointments. Chrissy claimed she needed something just for me, or that Jim stresses me out. And trusting him, Jim never questioned it. Loyalty was his hallmark. Deception was hers. In court, as the judge asked, "Mr. Jones, do you wish to proceed with legal separation based on this new evidence?" Jim didn't speak. He nodded, silent and shattered. Chrissy crossed her legs, folded her arms, and delivered the line that will haunt him forever. It was never about the baby. It was about survival. Survival of what? A fiction. A television storyline. A brand built on someone else's heartbreak. This wasn't her first stunt. Rumor has it that in 2011, Chrissy orchestrated a pregnancy scare to boost production value, a pregnancy that conveniently appeared just as ratings dipped. One VH1 insider confirmed she timed every reveal to the producer's needs. "You can't make this up," they said. But apparently you can, and Chrissy did. Just when everyone thought the DNA drama was the finale, a new player entered the ring. Cameron, a former Dipset brother everyone assumed was long gone. His lawyer presented sealed Miami footage from August 14, 2018, footage showing Chrissy in a gray hoodie, sneaking into a hotel room where Cameron waited, shirtless, smirking. She had told Jim she was on a wellness retreat in Sedona that weekend. Now, under a harsh courtroom projector, evidence contradicted her alibi. A second angle revealed her hoodie coming off a tank top and sweats underneath. Cameron leaning in for a whispered exchange. No audio, no graphic details, just the visual proof that Chrissy lied under oath. Jim sat motionless as the judge asked if he needed a recess. He waved it off, stone-faced. Chrissy's lawyer objected, calling the footage circumstantial, but the judge didn't buy it. A contradiction in her story was all it took. The auditorium gasped when Cameron's team produced a voicemail from Chrissy. "As long as Jim thinks the baby's his, I've got leverage. I'm not giving that up until I know where I stand with Cam." The room went silent. Mama Jones sobbed quietly, security flanking her chair. Jim closed his eyes, unable to bear the betrayal. Then came bank records: a $7,000 wire from Chrissy to a private OBGYN in New Jersey, dated 2 weeks before her alleged miscarriage. The description read, "Confidential results processing." Jim's attorney moved for an investigation into prenatal fraud and identity concealment, threatening to involve the district attorney. Chrissy's face drained of color. For the first time, vulnerability seeped through her icy exterior. The judge nodded and continued, as if that weren't enough. The court summoned a surprise witness, Chrissy's former assistant, who testified she managed Chrissy's travel, social calendars, and personal messaging. Under oath, The assistant described deleting text chains before Jim returned home and staging photos of Chrissy with baby clothes for Mona Scott. She needed promo-ready visuals, the assistant said. The courtroom gasped again. Chrissy's lawyer looked blindsided. Outside, social media exploded. Hashtag Chrissy burn a phone and hashtag double life confirmed trended within minutes. TikTok users juxtaposed her tearful reunion show scenes with the real-life timeline, exposing the lie frame by frame. VH1 insiders leaked production notes, winks, and jokes about engineering pregnancy arcs for maximum emotional impact. One producer's note read, "She promised us a baby and delivered ratings." Back in court, Chrissy sat silent, eyes fixed on the floor. But the day wasn't over. A backstage audio clip from Love and Hip Hop's 2022 production surfaced. Chrissy off mid-conversation. "You don't need to know everything. A little mystery keeps men in check. He gets too much truth. He leaves." The judge stopped the tape, shook his head, and recessed court. As reporters swarmed outside, a former business partner of Jim's stepped up and hinted at more leaks. Emails, money trails, a voice memo from a VH1 executive proving the pregnancy plot was pitched months before filming began. The story wasn't just personal betrayal, it was a company-wide deception, orchestrated for views and profits. The next morning, Chrissy arrived at court alone, glam squad, no entourage, just oversized shades and a silence heavier than any statement. At exactly 9:03 a.m., Jim's team presented a printed email thread between Chrissy and a now-fired VH1 executive. Subject: controlling Jim's narrative. In one line, Chrissy wrote, "Let's lock in the pregnancy scare for episode 3. That buys me time before I have to explain the Miami trip." Game over. Even her own lawyer looked stunned. The judge asked, "Miss Chrissy, can you confirm this is your communication?" She paused, then nodded. "Yes, Your Honor, I sent that." No gasps, everyone already knew the verdict. Chrissy wasn't just a reality star, she was the villain in her own series. Jim remained silent, detached, as though the heartbreak was complete and this was just business. But the final blow came in the form of an iCloud voice memo, time-stamped exactly 1 year ago. Chrissy, speaking into a phone, said, "If Jim ever finds out about Cam, it's over. He won't survive it. That's why I said the baby was his. He needed to believe in something, and I needed him to stay until the spin-off got greenlit." The courtroom held its breath. Jim's attorney pushed back his chair and stood. "Your Honor," he said, "we submit this as evidence of intentional emotional manipulation and business fraud." The judge nodded and turned to Chrissy. "Do you deny the authenticity of this audio?" She whispered no. With that, the dominoes fell. A motion was filed to freeze all joint accounts. Federal auditors opened a review of Chrissy's business filings, charity funds, and digital transfers. A thick subpoena packet landed on her attorney's desk. She didn't blink, didn't cry, just looked tired, as if the story she wrote was finally writing her back. And that, my friends, is where we leave part 1 of this jaw-dropping saga. A secret baby, hidden footage, leaked voicemails, a reality TV romance turned courtroom catastrophe. Jim Jones walked away seeking peace, insisting he wanted no revenge, just his time back and his story told the right way. Chrissy, she issued a statement acknowledging the emotional damage caused. But as for what comes next, well, you'll have to stay tuned, because in this story, the truth is the biggest twist of all.